Come on, Netflix, you know what you have to do now. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about Zack Snyder's new movie that apparently used to be at Warner Brothers and then Netflix bought it. Today we're going to be talking about Zack's return to the world of zombies. Today we're going to be talking about Army of the Dead. I will warn you, there'll probably be a lot of spoilers in this review. That being said, when you watch this movie, you shouldn't be surprised by anything I'm going to say because, boy, is this movie predictable. But anyway, do I recommend this movie? If you don't want any spoilers, do I recommend it? It's fine. I enjoyed it. Thought it was a little long. It's about 2.5 hours. But all in all, I thought it was okay. I had a good time, even though this movie is really predictable. Apparently, there's going to be some prequel movie about the safecracker, and there is supposed to be like a cartoon, and Zack Snyder said he's got more ideas, and of course this movie's predictably left wide open for more. So, but all in all, I thought it was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I probably wouldn't watch it again, because again, you see this movie and you kind of know exactly what's going to happen as the movie's going. There were some things it didn't do. I was kind of surprised, but there was nothing that it did that really shocked me. There's a couple little things I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It did some interesting things that I kind of didn't see coming, but you really couldn't have seen some of these things coming. And we'll talk about one of them at least. What this movie is about is the U.S. government is transporting a payload to Area 51, and they end up getting in a wreck because let's just say that this movie shows how marital bliss on the road is a bad idea. Anyway, the payload that they have ends up being a zombie, but not just any zombie. It's like the zombie. It's what's like, he's like the king of the alphas kind of zombie. And this zombie ends up building an army by going to Las Vegas and basically taking over. During their time in Las Vegas, some people rise up and they're able to help people and everything, and some are actually rewarded with medals like Dave Bautista's character. That being said, some of these people that were involved in helping people in Las Vegas before it gets walled off, their lives aren't exactly really good after that. It's like, here's your reward, now your life sucks. They don't like reward them monetarily or anything. But they do wall off Las Vegas. The government is going to end up nuking Vegas. So a multi-billionaire whose insurance had covered the loss of his money, he's still like, you know what, the money's still in the vault. I'm going to send some people down there to get it, and I'll give them some of the money, and then I get the rest of the money, and I'm richer. At least, before he's twirling his mustache, and there's something else going on. Anyway, he approaches Dave Bautista's character to get a team together and to go into Las Vegas and get this money. And that's the general setup. Also, we find out that Dave Bautista's daughter is a volunteer at some of the camps around Las Vegas of the people that they're not infected or anything, but they're also being held there like they are. So she volunteers around there, and we get to see some of the corruption around these camps and everything else. But anyway, so Dave Bautista gets his team together, and the daughter helps them get in. to Vegas to go find this money. Okay. There again, as I said before, there was nothing in this that surprised me, and I think that's the biggest detriment to this movie. When you start to meet some of the characters, we'll use Hiroyuki Sanada for example. He was Scorpion in the latest Mortal Kombat. He plays Bly Tanaka. He's the billionaire that sends them in. You just see him and you're like, yeah, he's a scumbag and he's got ulterior motives. And so everyone's pretty predictable. He sends Garrett Dillahunt's character in with him. It's like, gee, I wonder if he's got an ulterior motive. So you've got these different characters that are going to act a certain way. Dave Bautista, he gets two of his friends together that were people that helped him when they were in Vegas the first time. And they kind of run the crew. And that they all have their motives. Granted, they're hiding how much money they're getting out of this deal. And I thought, honestly, that would have came into play. That they were hiding how much they were getting versus how much they were paying everybody else. Never really came into play. So you have those characters hiding that, and you thought maybe that would come in, but for the most part, they're your base good guys, and they're going to be the good guys. They get a safecracker. They get I don't know if he's an Instagram or whatever social media thing he's using. He's a guy that goes and caps zombies for online clout. He ends up being one of the more valuable players, so to speak. And you have all this collection of characters, and okay, who's going to live, who's going to die, especially as the movie goes. You have just, the movie is too predictable, and I know I keep going back to that, but it would have been nice to have a character that we know turn on our main characters or something. It would have been nice to have one of the main three turn on the others, to where, and they really didn't have an excuse, but they could have made an excuse, I guess. But it's like, how the characters are going to act. If they're going to live or die. I mean, this is a zombie movie, and I would have been more surprised had some people not died. I will say this, though. When I saw art for this movie and I saw any clips from this movie, I thought this movie was going to be funnier. And it has its moments, but really it's a straightforward, straight shooting, kind of serious movie. I mean, it's not like overly serious. Don't expect, some great drama of our time with this, but it, I mean, other than like some of the, say the scenes where the zombies are taking over and things like that, those are kind of silly. You got the Vegas music playing and zombies are taking over and stuff. I mean, that stuff's kind of silly, but for the most part, the movie is pretty just straightforward. I will say, though, and this is a spoiler here, when one of the character dies, of course you knew they were going to die because they were having a conversation with another character of how they had feelings for him and things like that. It's like, oh yeah, they're dead. But it didn't help that this character died hilariously. Just the way it felt with the movie, with the tone of the movie, the way this character died. It's like, you would have thought they would have had them die. Not, maybe it didn't have to be heroically, but they just die kind of funny. It's just the way that they die. You're just like, you almost chuckle, and you're supposed to really care for this character. So, the movie also introduced something strange. Okay, first of all, I did like that there were different kind of zombies. There was one thing they teased that I was a little disappointed that didn't come to pass. They have these zombies near the walls, and I guess they've just sat out there in the sun and they just kind of fall over. But apparently sometimes when it rains, these zombies come back to life for a little bit, and they didn't use that. But they have different kind of zombies. You have just like the regular, slow, dumb, kind of zombies. But then you also have alpha zombies that are like smarter, faster, more resilient. And so you have this group of zombies. You have the really slow, dumb ones that our guys can just... First of all, it's one of those shows where everyone's good at shooting people in the head, even those that have never handled a gun before. A lot of people get shot in the head way too easy in this. It's like The Walking Dead, what it turned into there. I don't know if it still does, but there for a while, they couldn't miss. But you have different kind of zombies in this. And then you have like the alpha zombie that we talked about the first. And if you get bit by him, you become an alpha zombie. If you get bit by the dumb ones, or you just, I don't know if it's the alpha zombies, if they bite someone, you just become a dumb one. I didn't really catch that. But if you get bit by the main zombie, you become like an alpha zombie. So he can kind of build his own group. Also, this movie introduced something strange that it was kind of a surprise because, you could tell that this group of zombies were more, I wouldn't say sophisticated, but they were more with it when it came to life and communication and everything else. Well, apparently they still have sex because unless she was already pregnant, which I don't know, they didn't show it or anything, but you find out that one of these alpha zombies is like the queen to our main villain, and he and they have a baby because when she dies, you find out she's pregnant, and that was weird. It's like he opens her up and there's a baby in there. So that was a kind of a weird thing I didn't see coming, but he at least showed that Zack Snyder was trying to add something different to the zombie genre, saying, well, they can have babies too. At least these alphas can. I don't know if they all could. They never really explained it. They just showed it. And again, being that they're talking about maybe having more movies and a prequel movie and cartoon series, it may explore that. I don't know. But anyway, there's really not much more to say about this one. It's a pretty straightforward, predictable zombie movie. I saw the stuff happening at the end coming a mile away. I saw just exactly where it was going to go. When things happen, you can just start figuring it out and, following the dominoes as they go down. It's like, okay, this happened, so that means this, and is going to happen, and it does. So there really wasn't any big surprises in this for me other than the zombie baby. So yeah, it wasn't anything special for me. I don't know what I was hoping for, to be honest. I knew that, I knew how it was going to look and feel. It's a Zack Snyder movie. But it didn't really surprise me with anything. And that's a little bit of a disappointment. That being said, it's not a bad movie or anything. It's just not one I'm so excited I need to watch it again. But, at 2.5 hours, I thought it was a little long. That being said, they had a lot of characters to set up. They had a lot of different plot elements they needed to set up. So, because not only are they going after the money, they're going to try to find... the daughter is going to find a friend of hers who's like the mother of these kids that she helps raise. So there's that too. You knew that was going to come into play. So yeah, it would have been nice if this movie had some more surprises. I think that would have really helped. That being said, I wouldn't have wanted this movie to be any longer. There just wasn't enough here for me to like love and praise this movie, but that being said, it's free on Netflix. It's a big budget zombie movie that if you just want a big budget zombie killing movie, you don't have to go to the theaters to see it. So, if you like Dave Bautista, he's pretty good in this. I like the people that are in it. I wish they would have done more with some of them. Again, it would have been nice to have some twists and turns with the characters, but I like the characters. I thought the movie was fine. I'm not going to not recommend it. I probably would have been okay with it in the theaters as well. So, Army of the Dead it's not a great movie, but it's an entertaining one anyway, even though it's highly predictable. That's going to be all for this review. See you later.